And speaking of the jet mode, let's get to it. And let's see if I can film this, because this is bigger than most stuff I review. And it's also like one of like my first time filming something in a while. So I'm gonna try and can I do this? Well, how do I do this? I don't think I have like enough room. Okay, I'm gonna hope that this works. So what you're gonna want to start with is just come to the arms. No, come to the back. The nose cone, just bring it back. And then you can bring the head back. Now the head's out of the way. And then you can bring that down. Bring that up. And then rotate it 180. And yeah, you can kind of already start to see he has a lot of hinges in him. He does a lot of stuff. And it's part of why I started in robot mode rather than the vehicle mode like I usually do. Because this guy was in robot mode. And I just did not want to have to do the transformation twice in a row. Even with a little bit of talking to the camera in between. So yeah. Then you want to lift up the hinges the rib cage is attached to. And then the whole chest plate can double hinge up. And then the whole abdomen up can rotate on this ball joint. Preferably not popping off the rib cage. And also you should probably open this up to get the clearance, which makes it a heck of a lot easier. Don't know why I didn't do that from the start. I'm the friggin' person that designed this. I should know how to transform it properly. Once you have that, you're going to want to, before you forget, bring down those little circle bits. And this is not cooperating. It's coming apart. Okay. Now you want to come to this little crotch piece. Bring that up. Then you want to just bring his legs down enough that... Bring his legs out, actually, and then rotate them like that so that they're just out of the way. Or it kind of looks like they're going to be in the way more, but you'll see what I mean when I say they're out of the way. Because now this whole section has to then come apart. This is a very delicate part because it's all held together by one single stud, which is not very good. Okay. This whole thing rotates then again. So basically this whole upper section, his whole upper body has rotated at 3 different axes. Is that the plural of axis? 3 different axes, whatever you're calling them. It's rotated at 3 different places. And now it looks like that. Yeah, that is annoying to have to go through every time I want to transform this thing. But yeah, then you want to just get these legs out of the way so that then the rib cages can come down, and as long as you're not breaking this bit off again, you can then bring the rib cages in, and they'll kind of help keep this from falling down, because obviously it's just attached by some droid legs, so if it weren't for that, droid arms, it would probably fall. So yeah, one thing I forgot to mention in the intro, like 104 subscribers. Wow. I guess I have to make the Optimus Prime tutorial now. Not 100% sure how to. I'm not exactly the computer king. I don't know how to do everything on a computer, so I have an HTML file for the LDD instructions, and I could put that up for download if I knew how. So if you know how to do that, tell me, so then you can help a lot with that 100 subscriber special. But anyway, you want to rotate this, and I never realized this about these binocular parts. You can rotate them like without them coming off. Like they kind of start to separate, but who cares? It helps the ribcage clean up nicely. So yeah, there you go. And as you can see, that whole bit of the body is kind of flattened out into a little pancake, which is now going to store underneath the jet. Yeah. So what about the actual jet parts? Where's that going to come from? His legs. You're gonna want to rotate them like that. And then I'm just going to... No, I was going to cheat and do that just so I could show you better, but I don't feel like cheating today. I'm going to actually like do it proper. That's what I get for not cheating, I suppose. As more stuff crumbles. Ugh, why? Yeah, just pretend that this thing isn't crumbling in my hands. This is the bad part about building movie formers in Lego. They tend to be very complicated and very fragile a lot of the time. So yeah. Anyway, now that you have the legs in this angle, so that the front of the thigh is facing towards you, or at least it's facing the same direction as the nose cone is, you then want to rotate at the top of the double knee, like that. And as you can see, the panel for the side of the leg came off. There you go. Now, you can kind of start to see a bit of a jet, sort of, if you can, like that's the fuselage, bit of a wing. Yeah, you might be able to tell where this is going now. And while I was building this thing, I had originally started with the head and arms, and I just could not quite figure out what I wanted to do. Then I came to this section with like the waist and the legs, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, so that's what I'm doing, okay. And then all of a sudden it was just like super easy, and I think I built this guy in like one night, which might be why he's so inaccurate, but I also really like how he turned out in general, no matter, even if he isn't super accurate. So yeah. Now, obviously these wings then fold over so that they're straight with the fuselage, and then the heels fold out, and they're the wingtips. And you might be thinking, okay, what about... It just breaks again, okay. What about the rest of the leg? Is that just going to sit under the wing and be really ugly? No. I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? No. You don't leave a whole leg under the wing. You fold it up a little bit. But yeah, before I do that, because I have to do this first, you have to do the arms. And the arms are really interesting because this was very last minute. I had no clue what to do for the arms. They had to fit into this tiny little section of the jet. And I was like, okay, I didn't want to have the tail fin as part of the arms because I didn't want to have this. And I just could not figure out how to get a decent looking arm to fold out of this tiny little sliver of the jet, like right here. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to have the tail fin become the arm and just have this because who cares anymore. So yeah, the way it transforms, that comes out. Let's see if I can remember this actually. It breaks because you're holding it by like the complete wrong place, and you have a bunch of other moving parts hanging off of it too. Yeah. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to say it broke in this video, but it's probably gonna be a lot. Yeah. Guess what? Broke again. It's always at that one little place. Okay. Now then, this whole lower arm rotates. And then parts are just coming off left and right. Okay. So then it rotates at the hand section. Then this rotates. That rotates. And then last but not least, the hand rotates. And then if you come here, it then folds down, and then that folds up if you don't break it. I like how as soon as I said if you don't break it, it then proceeded to break even more, as if to just make me angry. And if I could get this stuff to actually fold up, that would be very nice. Okay, as you can see, this hand kind of just has to somewhat fold up around that. And it will kind of work. It'll sort of work decently enough to where I can call it the final jet back. And as you can see, that's half of the back of a jet with a big thruster thing hanging out the side. Because, yeah, that's one thing that is really confusing about Nitro. If you look at his design, he's, at least his toy jet mode, it's very much the type of jet you would expect to have like a single engine or thruster on the back, but his design in robot mode has like 2 thrusters, one on either shoulder. So it kind of is like, okay, so are these actually thrusters or are they just robot mode specific details? And if they're specifically for the robot mode, where do they go? So yeah, I just kind of opted for like a mix of robot specific and actually being from the jet, in that it kind of comes from the jet, but like at the same time, if it's not supposed to have 2 thrusters, hey, it doesn't have 2 thrusters. Those are just kibble. What are you talking about? But yeah, while I was rambling there, voila, you got the back of a jet. So yeah, now for the worst part of the transformation, not because it's the most complicated or annoying, but because it's the part I hate the most, because you literally just take the head and like fold it back, and it's really stupid. And I can never, there's like a certain way I usually do it that's like slightly less horrendous than the other ways, but not by very much. It's just kind of like, all it does is sort of hide the face, but you still see the head really easily. I think that droid arm's broken. That's not good. Yeah, I was just completely off screen there. Basically, you just bring the head up into there. And yeah, I hate that. That's something I really do not like about this design, but it just, there was nowhere else to put the head without making the head like tiny or just really bad. And I liked the head I came up with, so I kept it. So yeah, now for the legs. And as I said, this was kind of where it clicked, and I was like, oh, so that's how it's going to work. And the legs, oh, he just smacked you with the tail of his jet. And a ribcage fell off. Oh, man. Can you stay on there? It might... Stop. Stop it. Stop. It just fell out of my hands. I noticed it's completely off screen there and you can't even see it. But that's part of the experience, I suppose. Okay, it's going to be easier if I just bring this all down and just hinge it down. And now these legs can come on in, and you have the front of a jet. Whoa. The front of a jet with 2 giant robot legs hanging out underneath its wings. So what are we going to do about that? I will show you in a second, after I have reattached the back of the jet and folded it back up, which should only take a second of fiddling and being annoyed. Okay, sorry about that. Took me a while to get this to work. Okay, now if you don't mind, oh, gonna break it right in half for me. Okay, if you don't mind a big kibble under the wings, you could just say you're done right now, but I prefer doing this, which is to take this whole part and bring it in. Why? Why do you do this to me, Nitro? What? Stop. No, don't go down this road. Yeah, it took me... Took me a while to get this thing to work. just because it was being really fiddly since there was a camera between me and it. It doesn't like the camera, I guess. You'll hear like anyone who tries to review something or like showcase a transformer of any kind, Lego or not Lego, they'll say, yep, it sees the camera, then it starts acting up. And it is true, let me tell you that. But yeah, then you take that, it rotates, and then folds over if you don't rip it off. Okay, that was completely off camera, so let me showcase it better. It rotates, then folds over, and then it can kinda set the jet on it. Oof. Oh, why? You are really making me angry, Nitro. I might as well just smash you on camera like another Lego Transformer I did. Okay, that is jet mode.